this ship. It's one of the last Navy minesweepers of its kind in existence. So people have been working for years now to help restore the ship and make it really a floating museum here in Stockton. But what's really cool is what's happening on board here tonight. We are here with Melissa Lockett of S.P.I.R.I.T, which is a paranormal investigation volunteer group. And you guys are going to do your own investigation on board tonight.
We are, yeah. As a matter of fact, so later on this evening, we are going to be joined by a friend of ours from RAD Radio, and we're going to come out and just do a full-scale investigation of this ship and check its history, check what is going on in this space, the echoes of the past that want to be heard. We're just really passionate about history and the paranormal.
Right, and this whole project, of course, bringing this ship back to its glory, is about honoring history. And you say that you can't properly honor history without maybe making contact with some of the people who were part of it on board.
Absolutely. Yeah, the history of this ship is so diverse. There has been all sorts of things happening here. It was serving tours in Vietnam, and then it became a houseboat. Two different couples lived in this vessel, and I mean, you know, they turned it sort of as kind of a party boat, and then it became something kind of, to me it was kind of sad. It became a storage boat. Just it was used as kind of like a public storage.
And in fact, the owner, when it was a storage vessel, was murdered, not on board.
Yeah, but he was a victim of murder. Yeah, and so it wouldn't surprise me if his spirit didn't just wander back here.
Okay, so they'll be using all the tools you just saw on the table tonight and hope to get in contact with some spirits. What are you hoping for, really quickly?
So I'm just hoping to give honor to the spirits that may be here and recognize the history. This ship is an important part of our history, and we want to recognize that and give it some honor, some dignity, and some love, because this vessel needs to be restored, so we want to support that mission.
All right, well, we are excited to see what you find tonight. Reporting live in Stockton, Olivia DeGennaro, Fox 40 News.
So first, why don't you guys introduce yourself?
John Van Huystee. I'm the CTE instructor at the Building Features Academy, and what would be the role on the ship? Instructor on the ship.
Awesome. And I'm David Rajkovich. I'm one of the founders and the president of the Stockton Maritime Museum.
And David, how did you acquire the USS Lucid?
Well, I had a few drinks in me. And I was at a party, and we were talking about what this town needed to generate some activity downtown, and I said out loud, wouldn't it be nice if we had a ship down on this historic waterfront that had some historic ties to this area, like the big cities do. There used to be 10 shipyards in this town. I said, we got to find something that would have ties to this. And I had another drink and went on with my evening. And a year or two later, somebody called and said, hey, there's a minesweeper out in the Delta, a sister ship, 3 of them that were built right here in Stockton. This is the largest class of minesweeper that was built here in Stockton. And it's available for nothing. So be careful when you speak in public and something is offered to you for nothing. So I broke both those rules, went out and looked at it and talked to the fellow that had it, and we formed a 501c3, negotiated with the school in order to bring it here and moor it here, and within a few years, after cleaning all the junk off of it, there was hundreds of tons of garbage on this ship, we brought it to Stockton, and we started a collaboration agreement with the school here where we started this restoration process. And with the goal to be taking it a couple miles further to the end of the Deepwater Channel here, right in downtown Stockton.
It's a beautiful ship. I mean, just walking aboard, even with all the work that needs to be done on the outside, the inside is almost immaculate. And you were telling me that you acquired the original blueprints.
Yes.
In order to restore all the inside.
Yes, and that was a little serendipity there. We wrote to the Smithsonian, we wrote to the Naval History Division at the Washington Naval Yard. We wrote to people all over Washington, D.C. asking who had a set of the plans of these pieces. 101 of these were built at about 12 different locations in a crash program around the nation. And we were told, no, the plans don't exist anywhere. So someone introduced me to a fella whose grandfather started the shipyard here in Stockton that built 3 of these sister ships. And I asked him if he had any of the plans, and he said no, he didn't think so. And his derelict buildings are still down here on the port. And I asked him if he would mind if we took a look. And he said, yeah, but you're wasting your time. So I didn't take that for a no. So we went through the building, and in the attic of one of the buildings, we found rolled up about 550 pages of blueprints, very brittle 60-year-old blueprints. And we had them all scanned electronically, and now we have them all on a thumb drive. And,
all hand drawn,
yeah.
About 12, some of them about 12 feet long.
16 feet.
16
when
feet,
you roll them
some
out,
of the longest
yeah.
ones. And it shows you every detail and every seat.
Because the civilians had removed walls, these bulkheads here. They removed them to make larger compartments. Like this passageway wasn't there; it was just a big, long hall, empty area. And they had cut holes in the ship. There were sliding glass doors. There was
fur carpeting and mirrors on the ceiling.
Yeah, there was mirrors on the ceiling and carpet on the walls.
People partied in here.
It was a 70s party boat for sure.
And I had a former sailor on board, and he brought his granddaughter with him, who was probably about 15 or 16. And I was telling this sailor who's in his 80s, I says, can you imagine, why would people put carpet on the walls and mirrors on the ceiling? And this 16-year-old goes, well, I could tell you. I said, no. Let's just let Grandpa wonder what that was all about. So the first year and a half or 2 years it was here, we were mostly removing those civilian additions and continuing to remove junk to get it to the point where we could start bringing it back to its original appearance.
And John, so how did you get involved with this?
Well, a funny story was I was going through Craigslist, and Craigslist had an ad saying,
Looking for a date.
saying if you're good with kids and you like building things, please give me a call. So I came out here, and it was a cold winter morning, and I met Dave, and we took a tour of the ship, showing all the things, all the holes and the rotting floors and decks and overheads. And by the time we made it to the top deck of the ship, he was just expecting me to, be just like all the other guys he interviewed, and said it's a helpless cause, light the match. And I said, hey, piece of cake, when do we start? So from there, I started, and we kind of cleaned the place up, made it safe. I was hired through San Joaquin County as an instructor to bring the students on from Building Futures Academy that we're moored to. So I started bringing students onto there, teaching them some basic construction skills and life skills. These are all at-risk teens here in Stockton, and they're all trying to get their diploma up to the age of 24. So we've had a variety of different students come onto the ship. Every one of them have the same feeling when they come on here. It's a one-of-a-kind, positive energy on the ship, and it's been a joy working with the museum and with the ship. And now I am full-time over on the school side, but stay on the ship, and we come out here at least twice a week working on the ship. And then we do our second and the fourth Saturdays of the month. We do an open work party on the ship. And we bring anybody that wants to come and get dirty and have fun, and we serve them lunch right out of the galley, and they eat right in the mess, and they have a blast. We've had volunteers from 4 years old.
No.
From 4 years old up to 92.
92.
Mm-hmm. So
I'd like to add about the youth. Some of these kids come from pretty tough backgrounds. A lot of foster kids been in foster care their whole life. A lot of them come from families that no one has ever graduated high school, and this is the first high school graduation anyone had ever attended. And the school is real good with, they have career days here, and they send recruiters, right, Chairman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from the different trade unions, and they interview the kids, and then they ask John and I, hey, which of the kids here that show some ambition and would be good workers. So we've had a lot of kids get good jobs graduating this school. Some have joined the military, some have joined the Navy, some have joined the Army. Mm-hmm. So I like to tell our supporters, we're not only saving a ship, maybe we're saving some kids.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
It's very commendable work that you guys are doing here.
Thank you.
What's next? Like, what is needed in order to make this a full-fledged museum?
The ship restoration needs to be completed because we don't want to bring the public on it in this state. And the reason we started restoring the inside, we saw what a big job the outside would be. So we started with one compartment called the CPO quarters. When you first come on the right, I told our board and our volunteers at the time, we're going to restore one compartment to what it looked like when the ship was built, because the rest of it, really, it looked so bad. I had a wooden boat and ship expert come and look at it before I started to get his opinion, and his opinion was, you're at the book stage. And I said, well, I don't understand what that means. He goes, either matchbook or checkbook. It's just, you gotta make a decision. And my boys, who were 10 and 12 at the time, started reaching in their pockets for matchbooks. They said, we'll never have to come back out here again. And I said, no, this is worth saving because it's the last one. So we restored an original, a single compartment because we had very few fixtures or any idea how we were going to do it. We restored that one compartment. And then we brought other volunteers and potential supporters and showed them this is the quality of the work, the authenticity that we're looking for. Because when we showed them the rest of the ship, they would just shake their head and say, oh my God, yeah. And some people thought we were crazy, starting with my wife. But she's still my wife, so.
Hey, it's working out.
Yeah. She stays off the ship and she's happy and I'm happy.
So the folks from SPI.R.I.T are here today.
Yes.
We're going to be doing a paranormal investigation. Now, did you call them? Did you guys connect because you felt like there was a haunting going on here, or are we just trying to make sure that we're going to clear the air?
They contacted us.
Oh, okay.
But we do have some history with this because a little local organization came in here one time and they showed me some results of a paranormal investigation that they did. And they showed me, we were all off the ship and they had
Some video equipment.
no, yeah, what do you call cameras that work in no light?
Night vision?
Night vision, thank you. And in this very compartment here, they showed me an orb that came in on the screen and then disappeared. So they believed there was some kind of activity.
And they had you from there.
Have you sensed anything personally since you've been working so much on the ship?
No, I have not.
Do you believe in that sort of thing?
I don't discount it.
All right.
Let's put it that way.
Well, obviously you wouldn't if you have
Right.
S.P.I.R.I.T here.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
How about you, John? Have you experienced anything?
It's funny you ask. A couple of years back, we've had probably about 6 students on board. I had these 2 female students at the very front of the bosun locker, very pointy part of the ship. And they were up there picking up tile. And as I was walking through the mess, they were turning around to look at me when I was looking at them, and we all saw a white flash come between us.
Wow.
Freaked them out. They went running out the ship. Okay. About a year and a half ago, another situation, I had 2 students on. It was Nick and Felicia, I think was her name. And Felicia was at the top of the ship, about 2 levels above us, and Nick was down with me, and we were headed up the stairs. We could hear her, Nick, stop it. Nick, stop it. And we finally get all the way up to it. I said, Felicia, what are you talking about? Says, oh, Nick's back here poking me in the back.
Oh?
So, that freaked me out. So, I said, no, Nick's here with me. And then she went running off the ship. So 2 incidents within, 3 years. So,
Wow, okay.
am I a believer? It's some weird stuff. So, could have been something just poking her, a cable or something.
Sure. Well, I did experience something as I was walking on. I felt like a pat on the head. So I don't know if that was just something from the wind. Could be something else. Maybe we'll validate today. No disrespect to the previous investigation team, but we brought the big guns today.
The big
so
guns, yeah.
Hopefully
Definitely.
we'll find something.
Definitely.
And I just want to add that, the ship has a really good positive energy.
It does.
It really does. Everyone that we brought on, volunteers and students alike, everybody comes on and it's just a happy place to be. You feel good about doing it, and you really have to feel good about volunteering and scraping walls, because if you didn't feel good about it, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So people come back because of the good energy that the ship has.
I think that has a lot to do with the leadership that's here too.
Well, we treat them right because they are volunteers and we want them to come back, so we make it fun.
Yeah.
And the way we tackle these projects, they can see progress. We told everyone it was going to be a 5-year project, and we said that about 7 years ago.
And we keep saying it.
Yeah, but there are parts now that are complete. Like this compartment is complete. So
It feels so good.
they could come and show someone, say, hey, I had a part in this,
Yeah.
and I did this. So it's not like, geez, we're still working on it and it's not done. No, this is done. So.
Yeah, gratification of just getting one wall done. Just
Yeah.
having a student, you put a student on something, scraping it or painting it, and it wasn't done when they walked in, and then it's finished by the time they're walking out. It gives these students some a great ownership of doing something, and that's what they need in their life is something like that.
Some of these students have never had a power tool in their hand.
Wow.
We would take some of our volunteers down at the end of the school year on a field trip to go see the Hornet. And what really struck me about that is some of these kids would say, are we going to be able to see the Bay Bridge from the Hornet? I go, yeah, we're going to be right in Alameda. I said, why is that? And they said, well, you know, I've never seen the Bay Bridge, and I heard they replaced it a few years ago, and you think, wow, you know, here we're only 60 miles away, you know, and haven't seen it. So it's a real eye-opener for some of these students. Some of these students that are born and raised here in Stockton have never been on the Delta. If you don't own a boat or know someone has a boat, you have, other than driving over a bridge, you know, you don't know what's out here.
Yeah.
Then they see a ship going by and they're all excited. Wow!
Yeah,
where'd that
vessel's
go?
going by.
Yeah.
It's
So it's a real eye-opener.
It's a good time.
So how can people get involved if they want to volunteer their time or if they want to just donate to the cause?
Well, easiest way to get in contact with us is go to either our webpage at StocktonMaritimeMuseum.org or our Facebook page, which is USS Lucid MSO 458. And on both those sites, there are 800 numbers to contact us. There's donate buttons. There's schedules of our work parties. We have work parties where we invite members of the public to come out. We need to get them signed up first, of course, but they can come out and participate on the second and fourth Saturday of every month. And we have some volunteers, we draw from all over. We have some that come from the Bay Area. We have one that comes from as far as Fresno, and to the north we have one that comes from Fiddletown. And then many from Stockton.
Well, and then Jack Frost.
And Jack, we have one that comes from Yuma, Arizona. But he comes 2 or 3 times a year and spends like 10 days here. Because he sailed on a ship like this, and this meant a lot to him to see one of his old ships saved. So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
And then on our Facebook page, we have a full-time kind of videographer, photographer. So we have usually weekly updates on the work parties and, you know, progress on the ship. So you'll always see new photos. We have a lot of cool archive links that you can go to and see old photographs of the ship and how we're restoring it to its original shape and looks. And a lot of before and afters, and those are the best when we have these double images on a photo and you can see that before and after of the completion of the ship.
And my favorite
fantastic.
is if you check it out, I believe they're on YouTube and on our Facebook page, are the year in review videos.
Okay.
Yes.
One of them was to the music of in the Navy,
Yep.
you know, and one was done to the music of the Monuments Men, you know, real dramatic music, you know, when it rises and falls. And
It's like watching a movie.
yeah, it is. And yet, when you watch those year in review movies, every volunteer is smiling or laughing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he'll put all the cuss words and beep them out, you know. Because people are cussing because they're having a good time.
Exactly.
But it really shows what a community we formed here and how happy people are to be here and participate in this.
I agree.
Well, it's a privilege to be here. Thank you guys for having us, and I hope that we can get the word out and get more people to help out.
Well, thank you. Your audience is very wide, I understand. So
Very wide and very loyal.
yes, and hearing the tease about this on your radio station, you obviously have done some research on us.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to invite anyone of your listeners that would like to come and take a tour to contact us.
Okay.
They don't have to take our word for it. They can come here and see this for themselves.
They can't just show up, right?
Well, they can, but we prefer that they call so we know, because everyone that comes gets fed. So we
Yeah, on the second and fourth Saturday.
Yeah, like last Saturday we fed 35 people in this little boat. So we'd like to have them contact us to make sure, you know, like, you know, we're not going to cancel a work party. You know, we don't want somebody to drive an hour then be here and be disappointed. But we'd like to show people what we're doing, because I think they would feel comfortable either supporting us or volunteering with us when they see how much bang for the buck we get from our
Lot of bang.
supporters. A lot of bang, little buck. Yeah. Big bang, little buck. Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing this for us. We appreciate it. This is our first broad reach into the audience outside of Stockton.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen.